Millions of the youth around the world find themselves lacking education and employment, which often prematurely pushes them into a workforce and prevents further training and career growth. This specifically brings in the socioeconomic term of NEET youth, not in employment, education, or training. To better understand the idea of NEET in our world, the International Labor Organization has provided statistics of NEET growth in the last 20 years. The two graphs display NEET growth in low-income families and high-income families. In both graphs, the top line represents the growth in females, the bottom line represents the growth in males, and the middle line represents the total growth. As we take a closer look, we can conclude that both groups peaked in 2020 due to the COVID-19 pandemic that shut down many workplaces and made education harder to navigate for specific families. However, the numbers are profoundly larger in low-income families as they don't have the funds and time necessary to cater to the best education and career growth opportunities. In order to tackle this issue, it's important to keep in mind potential partners and existing NGOs. Firstly is Junior Achievement, a nonprofit focused on educating the youth with skills needed for real-world job experiences. Secondly is Youth Business International, a nonprofit from 1999 focusing on helping young entrepreneurs kickstart a business and grow. And last but not least is Plan International, a group that focuses on advocating for children's rights and gender-based equality.
So how does this issue affect us? Young people not being employed and having the education limits the space they have to develop their skills. This affects them as they don't have a reliable income, they don't have the skills and the opportunity to be able to have a good, well-paying job to be financially independent. Money will circulate less throughout the nation's economy and even the community's entire economy. So we propose the solution, Job Growth for All, a nonprofit which aims to partner with school districts, local businesses, local community organizations to provide resources, skills to young people in rural areas and places where unemployment is prevalent. Unlike existing organizations that already mainly focus on only financial literacy or entrepreneurship, Job Growth for All strives to combine both career readiness, mentorship, while also combining internships and direct employer referrals all in one pathway for students. We will do this during the first part of our program, which is the readiness programs. Students will learn practical skills like writing professional resumes, preparing for interviews, improving communication, and understanding financial literacy. Next, we will partner with local businesses. These businesses will support our program through funding while also help recruit students and provide career opportunities. We will then connect with students, internship, and volunteer opportunities by working with our partner businesses and organizations. Students can actually gain real-world experience that is needed. Another key part of the program is community career events, which allow young people to meet employers and explore different career paths. Each student will also have access to mentorship, where mentors will provide guidance and answer questions students may have. Next, we will also partner with schools so we can bring the readiness workshops to the students directly. Finally, we will use a job recruitment program where students, when they complete all the things Job Growth for All has to offer, they can be matched with partner businesses already with Job Growth for All based on the interests and skills they have. Together, all of these components will help young people gain the skills, experience, and the connections that they actually would need to move from unemployment to actual education and workforce experience. So what's our yearly plan for Job Growth for All from 2026 to 2030? In 2026, we'd like to start off by establishing Job Growth for All as a nonprofit. We'd then like to recruit a couple of volunteers. We'd like to partner with the school, launch the first community career event, and we'd like to start our career readiness workshops for students to explore career pathways. In 2027, we'd like to expand the volunteer members we already have. We'd like to partner with local businesses. We'd like to add new school partnerships. We'd like to launch internship opportunities with the local businesses. And then we'd like to expand our career readiness education. 2028, we'd like to expand our partnerships even more with additional school districts. This will allow us to have more schools under our partnership. We like to grow our mentorship program, which are just our volunteers to help our students. We like to host career affairs. We like to partner with local career centers. And we like to add advanced career development lessons such as modern digital careers, workplace skills, financial literacy, interview preparation, networking, and professional development. Then in 2029, we want to kick it off by expanding the volunteers by even more numbers. We like to partner with technological organizations. We want to increase the internship and employment opportunities with the partner nonprofits and businesses that we already are partnered with. We like to improve access in technology in many rural areas. We like to expand career readiness education furthermore. And then we'd like to partner with other school districts. Finally, in 2030, we like to expand into additional communities to make Job Growth for All a nonprofit that can actually last many more years far after 2030. We like to expand on the career readiness education we've already built with its time and its technology. We like to establish a long-term mentorship program. We like to actually establish our volunteers to be able to help more. We want to strengthen our long-term partnerships and volunteer support with our volunteers, partnerships with the businesses and nonprofits, and then we'd like to partner with another school district to also increase our reach to more students. So what's our expected impact in the year of 2030? Well, we would like to have at least 400 to 600 students trained. We'd like to have at least 60 volunteer members. We'd like to have at least 9 school partnerships, not included within our school district partners. Next, we'd also have at least 3 school district partners. Next, we'd also like 8 business partners. This can be from technological businesses or all sorts of genres when it comes to any types of businesses near the rural areas. Next, we'd like to have 6 career events. We'd like to have 8 partnered organizations. These can be from nonprofits to technological organizations. We'd also like to have at least 35 or more internship opportunities for our students. We'd like to have 12 career readiness lessons between all the years, and we'd like to have a good mentorship program with volunteers to support students.
As a nonprofit with a lack of reliable resources, it is likely we will face some challenges. First off is a lack of funding. As a nonprofit, it may be hard to gather up necessary funding for workshops, mentorship programs, and local events. However, we aim to seek scholarships from businesses as well as applying for grants. Secondly is transportation barriers. Events and mentorship programs may be hard to access for people living in more rural areas. To ensure that we're accessible for everybody, we would partner with local schools to offer a direct pipeline to our programs. This leads into the issue of lacking community participation. It's likely that as we first start off as a smaller program, people will not hear much of us. However, to ensure our word gets spread, we would advertise through social media, schools, and local events. Additionally, lack of qualified members may be a difficulty, but we would target specific people that would have time and interest, such as retired professionals, college students, business leaders, and of course, the community volunteers. Last but not least is the lack of parent or family support. If a parent is not aware of the benefits for their child's future growth, they may not want to invest their time in our programs. So we would inform parents of the benefits in their child's career exploration and future workplace skills.
So how much will this solution cost yearly? Well, we estimated it will range from $2,100 to $2,600 yearly. It may increase or decrease depending on how successful job growth for all is. The money will primarily come from our partnered businesses, our nonprofits. It will also come from grants. And finally, it can be donated from the general public. So we will spend about $500 to $800 on program materials. It could be to print out resumes. It can be for interview guides, for pens, folders, papers. We will spend then $800 to $1,000 on community events a year. This money would be towards materials that are needed for the event. Next, for marketing and outreach, we will need a total of $300. So finally, we will need $500 for transportation and logistics. These can be for people who may not have a car, who may not be able to actually attend these events. The money will go towards buses and just anywhere to help them with the transport to get to these events. Thank you for listening to our presentation